and instantly bounce back, okay? Because it's all our side. We bring our fire and energy, play to our potential, we have it. Let's go.
Hey guys, Coach Kelsey here with our series on shifting from a performance identity to a peace identity. We've been going through the 4 key differences between a performance identity and a peace identity. And today we're gonna go through the 3rd one. But before I do, I want to share with you a story about the first time I ever went into a college volleyball match. I played 4 years of college volleyball at Huntington University, and this was the first match of my college career that my coach called on my name. And she wanted me to go in and serve. And I remember in that instance, I was overwhelmed with emotion, both excitement, nerves, but I remember the one thing I was thinking is, I cannot fail. I cannot mess this up. I go into the game, I go behind that line with the ball, and I am telling you, my arm became a noodle. I felt like I had 0 muscle in my arm, and I literally thought, I'm gonna have to say a prayer that this ball gets over the net. I was that nervous. Somehow, some way, the ball did go over the net. I don't even know what happened after that. All I know is I did get the serve over, but it felt like it took every ounce of my body to do that. And so that was a situation where that feeling of I cannot fail, I cannot mess this up, literally led to a physical effect in my body. So our 3rd key difference between a performance identity and a peace identity is that a performance identity says, I cannot fail, whereas a peace identity says, God will not fail. 1 Chronicles 28:20 says, be strong and courageous and do the work. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord God, my God, is with you. He will not fail you or forsake you. There's a peace that washes over us when we recognize that when we step onto a court and we're playing a match or whatever it is that we do in our life, when we recognize that it's ultimately God through us, it brings this sense of peace because we all of a sudden realize that we can rely on Him. We can trust Him. Doesn't mean we're gonna play the perfect match, but what it means is that we don't have to carry that weight on our shoulders. It's not all up to us, and we can trust in the security that comes from knowing our identity is in Him. I want to leave you with 4 discussion questions this week, so grab your family, friends, and teammates. The first question is, and I'm going to answer these this week too, is describe your most epic failure. Now that might not be something you feel like sharing, and this is more of a silly one that I'm gonna share, but I am literally embarrassed to say how many times I have run out of gas in my car. Like stranded on the side of the road, car will not go another inch, run out of gas. I think it's 4 or 5 times, which some people go their whole life without ever experiencing that. So that is one of my most epic failures in life. The second question is describe how you feel when you fail. And for me, I'll be honest, I start to feel shame, discouraged, disappointed in myself. I'm a perfectionist at heart. If you're familiar with the Enneagram, I'm a 1 on the Enneagram. And so failure is really hard. I start to feel sad, angry, all the emotions that you could think of, those come up in me. The 3rd question is describe the peace that comes when you realize that it's God who will not fail within you. And for me, it's like being in the eye of a storm, the eye of a hurricane. It can be mass chaos around me, but when I'm in the eye of the storm, it's like being in the center of God's will. And for some reason, there's this peace and there's this hush in the midst of the chaos, knowing it's He who will not fail within me. The last question is, in what area of your life do you need to rely on Him rather than yourself? And for me, in this transition of becoming a new mom, I think it's within motherhood. I need to rely on God and trust in Him to care for and protect my baby boy and realize that it's not all up to me, and that gives me peace. Thanks so much for tuning in. Next week, we're gonna go over the 4th and final difference between a performance identity and a peace identity.